Welcome! I'm Jackie, the creator and illustrator of Midnight City Tarot, and I'm so excited to have you joining me today for the City of Dreams tarot reading for the week ahead. So today we'll be pulling some cards and seeing what the deck has to say about what we can do to achieve our dreams. Before we get into that, I'm going to go over a few things, light our candle, and get started. So this is the Midnight City Tarot carry-all pouch, and I'm super excited to announce it is now available in the shop. So you guys can head on over there and you can grab one. I just wanted to give you a quick rundown inside. This has two pocket sections, which you've seen in other videos. I store my deck, and here it fits absolutely perfectly, and it's great because it's actually sewn at the bottom, so nothing will fall out. So if you're like me and you pick up pine cones and seashells and little things around the woods or the ocean and you put them in your bag, they're not gonna get all lost. They are gonna stay nicely in there. And it also comes with this zipper pull, so this totally doubles as a clutch and would look super cute with, I feel like, a lot of different outfits, just adding a colorful touch. So yeah, there's art on both sides. This is from the World card from the Midnight City Tarot deck, and I'm very excited for these to be out in the world. I know this has been a long time coming, but I really think it's so worth it. So yeah, that's that. And we have our postcards, the City of Dreams postcard. These two come with every order that you guys place through midnightcitytarot.com. So I'm going to make some room for us. And yeah, we have a couple journals left. This one I I really have a lot written in here. I cannot stop writing. A lot of the Midnight City Tarot stories start inside of this journal. So this is our spread for the day, and I use our Midnight City Tarot Stories Metro card as a bookmark because, of course, why not? Yeah, we're gonna go through our general theme and message, anything that's holding us back, anything that's supporting us, and our underlying hidden themes and messages, and then next steps. So that's going to be our spread for today. And yeah, I did want to show you guys, I finally did fill out my cover page of my journal, and I love that it has this little saying, trust in the magic of new beginnings, because I do really feel like that is the time of year that we are in right now. So there are still journals available on the shop too. And yeah, let's get into it. So we will start by lighting our candle and calling in our guides and loving ancestors. So we can take a deep breath together. And make sure we're grounded and connected to spirit. And yeah, we'll get into it. So I will do some shuffling. Wow, this is very interesting. I hope you guys can see all of that. If not, I'll hold them up for you. So let's see. We will start at the beginning, and then I will kind of go through each position and let you know what I'm seeing for us here. This is interesting because I actually was pulling some cards for myself earlier today, and two of these came out already, and I swear I shuffle like crazy, as you guys can see. So that means that they're very important messages for us to hear right now. So for card number 1, we have the Moon, and that is our general message and theme for the reading. So this represents wildness and finding that wildness in nature, even within the city, which I think is just so powerful. The card depicts us taking the subway over the bridge and turning around and looking up and just seeing this giant wild moon hanging low, like over the city and over the water. And we're just reminded that we're super powerful, super witchy, and that we too are nature. And this card is also a little bit weird, which I think is very interesting. It calls out kind of a weird kind of spooky feeling. So the moon, of course, reflects the light from the sun, and that's why we can see it glowing in the way that we do. So it's funny because I know we're in the middle of eclipse time right now. We just had a lunar eclipse a few days before I did this reading for us. So lunar eclipses are kind of interesting because, of course, we're seeing the reflection of the sun on the moon, and it's getting a little bit distorted. And this is so interesting because this is something actually that Lindsay Mann was talking about during her last Akashic Records reading. So this is really cool, and I love that this theme is coming up for both of us. I wonder if it's coming up for any of you guys at home too. So yeah, this, to me, when I look at this, I think about the moon is just being the moon. The moon is just being a rock in space, and all the humans are on Earth looking up at it, putting a lot of our own perceptions and perspectives of like how we perceive this moon. So we're looking at it and going like, oh my gosh, this beautiful crescent, it's yellow and it's in this certain shape and it's so lovely. And the moon is like looking back at us being like, no, actually I'm just a rock, but you're seeing me in this certain way. And it really makes me think of that meme that's been going around, and I forget exactly like whatever. It was relating to a certain sign, but it talks about the joy of being seen and the pain of being perceived. So I really feel like this is interesting because it does just speak to being your weird and wild self and disregarding what anybody thinks of that and ignoring other people's perceptions of you or projections onto you. So keep doing your weird thing is the message for right now. So yeah, keep doing your weird thing, and what makes you unique and weird also makes you special, and that's so important to put your own uniqueness out there in the world. So whatever you're working on will have your essence infused into it, and that is just amazing. I feel like that is the beauty of art. So if you're working on an art project or anything, whatever your goal is, whatever you're working towards to try to achieve your dream, I love that it has your own unique, different essence imbued in it. So for our second card, which is what is holding us back, we have the 10 of Cups. And this card speaks to beauty, harmony, bliss, joy, and in this position, I really am taking this to mean our fantasies or ideas and projections of what could have been or what things should be are holding us back, and we're getting caught up in wanting everything to be perfect, and maybe like we're not at that point yet because we're still working towards our dreams. So trying to not get caught up in this feeling of like it needs to be a certain way and it's going to be beautiful and harmonious, and you know, life is messy and that's okay too. So let's see, this also has of course the 10 in it, which is interesting because last week we had 2 10s come up. So it's really reminding us that yes, we're at the completion of this year, we're at the end of this cycle. So that's, I think, promising to let us know that this is kind of tying up. And then we have our supporting energy, which is the Empress. And this is energy that we can call upon at any time to help us achieve our dreams. And the Empress is a super powerful creative force. This is truly nature being beautiful, making this joyful, lovely rose that smells wonderful, looks beautiful. It has a soft touch, like everything about it is super sensual and joyful and blooming just for the pleasure of blooming. And of course, it also does speak to fertility in terms of, you know, the bees are pollinating and landing on this rose. And when I think of fertility, I really think of being like fertile with our projects, with our ideas, and, you know, blooming forth what we want to see in this world. So I would definitely recommend connecting with nature And I know, of course, it's fall right now, so it might not be easy to see a ton of flowers blooming, but just to call in that feeling of nature and that creative force that is within each and every one of us. So know that you have this Empress force within you that's super creative, it's super full of ideas, ready to burst forward and just bloom. And when you bloom, you give other people permission to bloom as well, which I think is really lovely and also very supportive. And then our underlying and hidden theme is the Eight of Coins, which is also very interesting because this appeared in our last reading in the position of what we can work towards or do next, like what are our next steps. So clearly we've been doing this. We've been working on our project, working with our hands. We've been doing this over and over and over again, and it's the repetition is getting old, and maybe we're feeling a little bit stuck, maybe it's feeling a little bit stale. It's really easy to get tired and burnt out from doing something over and over again. So please make sure that you take a break, take some time away and rest. And then when you come back to your project, you will feel that much more inspired and that much more excited to work on it. I think there's something really powerful about taking time away, and it's almost like the feeling of the void. It's like you're creating a little bit of void by not putting all of your attention on it. So that way when you come back to work on it, it feels fresh and you have that regained sense of magic and you want to keep going. So that is very interesting that came up for us in that way. And our next steps, we have the Queen of Wands, which I absolutely love. The Queen of Wands, they're very fierce. They have this strong fire within them, and they're also a creative force. And honestly, I'm seeing a lot of feminine energy throughout this spread, from the moon to the Empress, which also has the crescent moon symbol in the card. And then our Queen of Wands has that receptive, as we can see they're sitting down, creative force within them. And they're sitting next to this table which has flowers blooming, which also we're seeing a lot of flowers blooming here in this spread if you look at the Ten of Cups and the Empress as well. So the Queen of Wands, flowers blooming, represent their fertility in terms of creation, their power of creation that they have within them, and the fiery spark, of course, of the fireworks going off overhead. This is a powerful card, powerful energy. Of course, we got the candle going, which is, you can see a mirror to this candle that we actually have going in real life. I love that, when art imitates life and the other way around. So definitely look inside yourself and find that fiery creative force, and you can use that in the coming weeks to call upon to kind of invigorate your project again, so that when you go back to it, you are feeling more excited about it and ready to take it on and continue blooming it out into this world. So that's the spread for today. This was awesome. I really appreciate you guys being here. If you do have any specific questions that you would like to see answered, please let me know in the comments below and I will answer them in an upcoming video. And also, if any of this resonated with you, please let me know in the comments below. That way I can kind of get a feel of what you guys are thinking, or even more awesome, like if you guys are pulling similar cards, I would love to know that, because I do start to see themes, like on Instagram. I saw a lot of chariots this past week, so it's just cool to see what we all have in common and what themes we're all working through. So definitely let me know in the comments. And yeah, if you could subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. And if you could give this a thumbs up if you liked it, that would be awesome too. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you next week.